16 with a wind chill of minus 25. Law enforcement officials say they expect to release charges this afternoon against the gunman in yesterday's deadly Florida airport shooting. Officials believe U.S. Army veteran Esteban Santiago acted alone and came to Fort Lauderdale specifically to carry out the attack. FBI Special Agent George Pirro says investigators are following up on numerous leads.
We've conducted roughly 175 witness interviews. We've recovered video, physical evidence, and we continue to pursue every investigative lead.
Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport reopened for commercial flights at 5 a.m. today, although many flights have been canceled or delayed. The man behind a federal advocacy group is calling on Veterans Affairs to fulfill its obligation to help those suffering from mental health issues. 660's Mark Honchkins reports the call comes just days after the tragic triple murder-suicide in the small Nova Scotia community.
Michael Blaze is the president and founder of the Canadian Veterans Advocacy. That's a group dedicated to improving the quality of life of Canada's veterans. Without mincing words, Blaze says this is a crisis. Suicide rates among veterans continue to go up, and he says Veterans Affairs is failing in its obligation to help those it aims to serve.
I mean, my God, I've heard of 2 suicides within the veterans community over Christmas. Add this terrible, terrible incident to the equation, and clearly we have a crisis on our hands.
Blaze says principles and protocols must be installed to bring down the suicide rate.
Improve the quality of our lives of those veterans who have suffered so much in war and peace.
I'm Mark Hodgins.
660 News Time, 2:39. As Vancouver and the BC Lower Mainland continue to deal with a sudden blast of winter, the gods are piling up. 660's Ross Hunter has more from Vancouver.
Last month alone, Vancouver spent $2.5 million clearing snow. That's 3 times what they budgeted for the entire year. North Vancouver Mayor Daryl Masato says his city has spent around $75,000 so far, but have a formula to average out the cost.
It's basically a sinking fund where we put in about $100,000 each year, and it averages out over 10 years. That's about as much as we would use. So this year we'll probably use more than we would normally take out, but it averages over 10 years. It averages.
But everywhere here pales in comparison to back east, with Toronto putting away $94 million a year, while Montreal tops out at $155 million for snow removal. I'm Brock Hunter.
And it is something people have literally been fighting over in Vancouver: road salt. The 660 Simon Trooper reports the sodium chloride isn't always the perfect solution to keeping snow and ice off the road.
Especially while the snow is falling.
Everybody who gets stuck in a storm wants salt to be laid down immediately. That sounds like people think that salt is a panacea, that it will just cure anything.
But that's not the case, says Dave Thompson with the Oregon Department of Transportation, who says Mother Nature will always win during a storm.
But while the storm is still raging, it won't do you a darn bit of good.
Because the wind and constant snowfall will make it hard to melt anything.
It's what happens after the storm. How fast can you get back to travel conditions that are safe? That's where salt might play an additional role.
There will have to be a second coating once the snow stops falling. I'm Simon Druger.
Coming up, traffic and weather together all the ones, including a check on highways around the city. 660 News Time, 2:40.
Tired of the same old, same old? Need a little excitement in your life? Bingo! Break out of that rut with an exciting round of bingo at the Bingo Barn. Bingo! Night owl warm-ups start at about 10 o'clock. Choose to play on electronics, paper, or both. Visit bingobarn.ca to check out the daily specials, special events, and growing pots. The Bingo Barn, the place to play every day. 1107 33rd Street Northeast.
660 News Time, 2:41. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones in the traffic center. Here's Todd Kaufman.
Just hearing about this one in the northwest, we have a minor crash, a rear-ender fender bender. It's tied up the middle lane on southbound Shaganathy Trail around Dalhousie Drive. In the northeast, you'll have the remnants of that earlier crash on westbound 16th Ave and 68th Street. Also tying things up on southbound 68th. The merge crews on scene. That one should be out of the way pretty soon. Also in its final stages in the northeast, a crash tied up westbound 80th Ave just before Métis Trail. If there are any issues in traffic you think we need to know about, you can send us a text at 660-660. You can also call us hands-free on the Rogers Network at star or pound 660. Environment, town, and weather.
one of your New Year's resolutions for 2017? A new survey from SOCAN says if you want to stick to it, you'll need some music.
Music really tops the list as a motivation, and it really makes a huge difference in staying committed to programs and goals.
That's Jennifer Brown with SOCAN, who says 88% of Canadians say there's an advantage to listening to music while exercising. Brown says the poll also shows music is important for physical and mental health.
When we were looking at the survey, we weren't just looking at fitness, but overall feeling, overall health of Canadians. And over half of Canadians turn to music when they're feeling sad and want to feel better.
Rock music topped the list for the genre most listened to while working out. In 1 minute, Calgary's top story. 6:60 News Time, 2:43.
We're two men and a truck. And we've got lots of men and lots of trucks. Whether you're planning a move to a new home or to a new office down the hall, big or small, we move them all. We even sell packing and moving supplies. But no matter what you do, we'll do it with a smile. With